joining me.
I am offering small amount of assistance.
Price breakdown, but today is kind of different because we shop mainly for this one and not really for what we needed. The 3 recipes that we had, we only really needed the dairy for. Basically just milk. Oh, and the yogurt. Okay, well, it's time for hamburger buns. In the bowl of a stand mixer, combine the flour, yeast, and sugar using a whisk or fork. I'll just use this. That's approximately 500 grams. Now we're gonna add in 7 grams of dry yeast. This is 8 grams here. Since we used a lot, it should be... Oh no, that's not changing, is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grams of dry yeast. And that's sugar. Or I guess we have a proper whisk, but last time we used a proper whisk, it didn't work out very well, so I'm just gonna use a fork this time. Okay, 100 grams of milk. 100 grams of milk, there it is. And then we need water and salt. Add into the milk. And with the mixer fixed with the dough hook attachment, mix the dough on medium speed until almost homogeneous. Okay, so we don't have that, which means I'm gonna have to do this myself, which I never liked. Now just whisk until homogeneous. And add a softened 1 butter cube. Which is supposed to be 85 grams. Approximately 85 grams of this stuff. Okay, well, how much do we have now? Oh no. This works, right? Oh my god. Every time he does this, I have to wash my hands again. And use this again. That is 43 grams. Oh, crud. It says salted butter, which means we're gonna have a bit more salt in this bread. Oh well. Okay, so I don't know how to do this, so I've YOLO'd this before in the past and it worked out, so I'm hoping this can do the same thing, but let's just do this and see how that works. Okay, maybe the butter does need to be a little bit more. Now it's fully melted, minus a few small chunks. So I'm just gonna do that a little bit. It's hot. It's a little bit hot. It's not that bad. So I'm gonna use this to scrape it all out. Okay. Now we have butter and slightly too much salt, but. Transfer it to a large greased bowl and cover it with clean dish for about an hour to an hour, depending on warmth of the room. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper after that, and remove the dough from the bowl and place it into the lightly oiled work surface. I don't know, I need to find a bowl for this. There we go. So as I alluded to earlier, we're actually going to do more than just 1 recipe today. We're going to be doing 3. The second one is English muffins, which is another part of the bread section, and similar to the brioche dough, we are gonna just make it here and then let it sit overnight, because this one actually does require some time. We're gonna actually be using the exact same ingredients. Yeah, okay. Aslan. Okay, 625 grams of bread flour, plus a little bit more for dusting, so we'll keep this handy, I guess. And then the butter, yeast, sugar, and salt. So we're probably gonna cut back on the actual salt that you suggest to put in here. Aslan. What are you doing? Aslan likes cheese and butter, so actually it does make sense why he's here. Yeah, that's 440 grams. So this is half. That's pretty much all of it, I think. That's 2. So we're gonna do 1.5 of sugar and 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. Because this butter is already salted, I think we're just gonna do around maybe half. Or basically just that much. For the butter, we need this to be like oily. I'm gonna just pop it into the microwave. And they want us to add the butter in with this as we mix it. 300 grams of whole milk. 300 grams of whole milk. Then finally water after this. Maybe a little bit more than that, but I think it should be fine. We're gonna add this in as it comes. So let's do this. And you know what, screw it. I think we do need the whisk. And I think this is good enough for the water. I think we're just have to go in with our hands at some point. I mean, every single time. This homogeneous now, definitely, because I'm trying to get it off my hands for a while. You know what I think it is? I think it's because there's so much more butter in the first one than this one. And that's why that previous one was fine, but this time it's just so sticky. Like, look how much material I'm losing. This time with a bit of oil, it shouldn't stick to anything. If we turn it over enough, this is gonna go and be refrigerated overnight. You know, on second thought, I think I'm gonna do the last recipe tomorrow, just because the last recipe requires sourdough bread, and the wife said we can use some of the English muffins that we are gonna make instead. So why don't we finish making the English muffins, and then tomorrow we'll use that as the bread for the scrambled eggs with roasted mushrooms. The recipe for the scrambled eggs isn't very hard. It's literally just throw all the eggs onto a pan and cook it. Remove the dough from the bowl and place it on the lightly oiled work surface. Lightly oiled. This does look kind of fluffy. I'm actually kind of surprised that with just a little bit more butter, this turned out to be much less of a pain than the other one. Close enough, even enough. I can leave it in here and Aslan can't get to it, right? May have waited slightly too long. They are now humongous pieces of bread. We're gonna bake this at 350. I don't think it's that bad, right? Just wash my hands. Everything is off. Just leave this. Now we just wait for it to preheat. Okay, just realized I can't actually just take it easy and wait for this to preheat because we need to prepare the egg stuff. Because I will use Aslan's bowl that I recently cleaned. They say they use the egg whites, but I think I'm just gonna use the whole egg. Last time they said you can just use the egg whites and just the yolk, but I don't really find that to be too much of a difference. Bake for 30 to 35 minutes, turning halfway through until the dough is cooked thorough. It looks like they're rising. It looks like the egg is also rising though. Smells amazing. They are browning a little bit already. Golden brown. And oh my god, it smells so good. I guess it doesn't really take much to get that buttery smell.
What's it supposed to look like?
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I think it turned out okay.
I think it could be more golden, maybe.
That's just egg. I think it's time for a taste test. You know what? That's not bad. I mean, it tastes like bread.
Bread, okay.
It tastes like bread. It's a pretty nice smelling bread. Pretty sure Hazen likes the butter. It's time for the English muffins. I mentioned a very specific type of flour, but I'm just gonna use this because last time it worked okay. Wow, it's big. Into 90-gram pieces. Oh, we need to lighten season some of these. I'm guessing this is because we don't want it to stick to the pan when we fry these. Well, anyhow, we're gonna leave this to sit around for about an hour to 2. Okay, so the last thing on the menu for today is scrambled eggs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut up all of these mushrooms. These have to use the oven, but I don't really think that's necessary to cook for only 25 minutes. So I'm just gonna use an air fryer. A very small amount. So I don't know if this is gonna be enough, but olive oil on the... Nope, that's it. I mean, these aren't fresh, but it's thyme. Thyme leaves. And these mushrooms with thyme leaves can go in here. About 25 minutes. Until everything is golden brown. And while we're doing that, we're going to prepare the eggs. Oh shoot, I forgot a teaspoon of salt. And that is salted. Okay, now scrambled eggs. 6 large eggs at room temperature. 6 large eggs at room temperature. 6. Combined with 1 teaspoon of salt. Damn, that's a lot of salt. I think I'm just gonna add half because I don't really want it to be that salty. Okay, this time I know for sure that we can use this. 2 tablespoons of salted butter and then 2 tablespoons of creme fraiche, which we're actually gonna substitute for yogurt instead. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have added any salt because it's already salted. That's it for the butter. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare the English muffins first and then use the heat on that to complete the rest of this. And then we're gonna add in the eggs and the yogurt. And by then, mushrooms should be done. Okay, that smells really good already, and that's been like 5 minutes. I think the air fryer might be much hotter than I thought it was. To cook out the English muffins. And then after English muffins are done, we are going to slowly put them back onto here, and then that's our toast. And then we're gonna make the scrambled eggs, and then we're gonna have the mushrooms ready. This is an English muffin, isn't it? Not a good idea to put 2 on here at once. They stick way too easily. Brown enough for me. But I was thinking about this is taking quite a long time, so I think I'm just gonna heat this up too. We're gonna get started with the scrambled eggs. When this becomes a giant mass, we're gonna throw in the Greek yogurt. One tablespoon and stir. So that is an English muffin, and we got one left to go. These turned out horrible. I think out of all the things I've made so far, they have been relatively successful, or at least slightly lenient. These don't look like English muffins. In fact, they kind of look like pancakes. I chose the best looking ones and placed them in here because we're gonna give this to Mum. But yeah, first unsuccessful batch. And finally, mushrooms, which I'm just gonna put on here by hand. One last thing on the list. Well, anyhow, let's give this a try and see if it's good or not. I don't think we've ever, or at least I've never really cooked eggs with butter before, so it's not bad. Tastes more like eating scrambled eggs and French onions from like a pancake. It's edible, but it's not great. It's also unevenly salty. Mushrooms are pretty good. Eggs are fine. Pepper kind of overpowers everything else. The bread is just not that great, honestly. So that was the first few recipes I tried in the Cooking with Babish book. And now that I finally got around to editing the videos, I realized that I'm not sure I want to do any more, just because after that last recipe, we moved houses, and of course that meant I had the best excuse ever to not cook anymore. Towards the end of those recipes, did I find appreciation for cooking? Maybe a little bit more? I guess I'll just kind of see if I feel like making more videos about cooking, and if I do, I'll make another part 2 for the series, or I might just cut it off here, honestly. I care about this series very, very little at the moment. I've got some of these screws left, but yeah, this is basically cleaning the inner side of the oven, because as it turns out, it wasn't the outside that was dirty, it was the inside of glass right in the middle there that was dirty. That was quite a lot of work, but now we'll get better camera angles of the oven.